Hey there everyone, it's Kathy Champion and you're back with me here on my YouTube channel, Kathy's Random Acts of Stampin'. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please think about doing so. It doesn't cost anything to join. All you have to do is click the subscribe button, and then that way if you ring that little bell right there beside subscribe, you can be notified every time I put up a new video. That way you don't miss anything that's happening here on my channel. So think about that. Also, if you like the content of what you see on my channel, give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment. All of these things play in beautifully in what they call in the YouTube world algorithms. So that's important in the way YouTube sees my channel and the way they promote my channel. Okay, with all that being said, most of you that are my regulars know that I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and I'm located here in Gastonia, North Carolina, but I can take care of you no matter where you live all over the United States. So if you're not currently working with a demonstrator and you're interested in purchasing any of the products that you see me use, or if you just would like a catalog, please be in touch with me and let me know that, and I will do my best to reach right back out to you, and I will put you in touch with a catalog. I will show you how you can browse a catalog until I can get you one in the mail, and we are all just one happy family here at Kathy's Random Acts of Stampin'. So thanks so much, and I'm not going to hold up any longer. I'm going to get busy on my project. I know that this is right after the holiday season. We've gone to a lot of parties, and maybe not as many as it was back before the pandemic, but we've had get-togethers and what have you, and you might find yourself in need of a thank you note. And I thought, what a wonderful way to send a thank you note. And I'm looking for my stamp. Let's see. This is a stamp set that's a brand new stamp set that's coming out on June, July, January. One of those J months. January the 4th in our new mini catalog. This stamp right here is called More Love, and it's a very simple one stamp stamp set. Let me show you what I mean. It is just one big stamp, just like this. But I was thinking the other day, and you can see I got a little bit of ink on there when I was playing with it, but that's okay. It's still a great stamp. This is one of the red rubber cling stamps. I love these because they stamp beautifully. First time, every time. We're going to use that stamp. Also, in the Sale-a-Bration catalog that will be premiering on January the 4th, is this beautiful paper. This is called Simply Marbleous. Play on words there. It is not simply marvelous, but simply Marbleous. And the reason it's called that is because look at these beautiful marbled patterns. And on the back side is a more vibrant marbled pattern. So you have the lighter and the bolder in each one of these colors. And I thought these would make a beautiful backdrop for this beautiful stamp. So what we're going to do, I'm going to introduce y'all to note cards, and this is something I think that us as stampers have gotten away from quite often. But how many times have you needed a little note card? Just a little note card. Now the standard size for a note card is 4 1/4 by 6 1/2, scored and folded at 3 1/4. So all you're going to do, you can cut a piece of your basic white cardstock down the middle at 4 1/4, and then turn it and cut it at 6 1/2, and then score it at 3 1/4, and this is what you get. And then let's say we wanted to put one of these beautiful swirls on here, and this is the bolder one, and in order to cut this we would need a piece that is 3 by 4. So let's go ahead and cut a piece of this at 3 by 4. And the good thing about that, when you cut this, you can get enough for 2 cards with a little scrap left over. So this is 6 by 6, so we're going to cut it at 3 first. And then we're going to turn it and cut it at 4. And this is going to give you just a beautiful backdrop, and see how pretty that's going to look on that white. It is just a beautiful pack of paper, and I can see this being used with so many of the beautiful spring colors. But you can't purchase this. This is a free pack of paper, and you might ask, how do I get this for free? Simply make a $50 purchase, anything in our new catalog or our annual catalog, as long as your price before your shipping and your tax equals $50, you'll be able to choose a pack of paper like this. Now there's lots of other things. There's stamp sets, 12 by 12 paper packs, 6 by 6 paper packs. So there's a lot to choose from in our Sale-a-Bration catalog coming up. So be on the lookout. Hopefully y'all have gotten your catalogs, the ones that were mailed out from me. So let me know if you want to drop me a message, or just let me know in Facebook. I'll probably post that question, have you received your new mini catalog? Because I always like to know that. So what I'm going to do is I want to stamp this in a very bold black right on top of this, and I am going to stamp about like that. And it's going to hang over just a tiny bit, but that's okay. We're going to get the gist of this on our piece. So I'm going to grab a stamp block, and I think for this one I'm going to need a bigger. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to actually grab my Stamparatus. And the reason I think I want to do that, this will assure me if I don't get it dark enough the first time, I can always come back and re-ink it and stamp it. Love my Stamparatus for that reason. This is a tool that I reach for time and time again, and all you have to do is line it up and use our little magnets. Now I'm going to put one here, and I'm going to put one right here on this corner. Oh, and you know what? I don't need this mat, because this mat right here is used for photopolymer stamps, and I'm definitely using a cling stamp, so we don't need that. We just need to go flat down on here, just like this. So I'm going to revamp this, and these magnets are super strong. Do not get them together because they will clank and break. The reason mine are completely wrapped in tape is I speak from experience. When I first got my Stamparatus, I didn't realize how strong it was, and I did break my magnets. So it wasn't a big deal. I just went ahead and encased them in some washi tape and put a little piece of painter's tape on there to pick them up with, and that worked perfectly fine for me. Now I am going to lay my stamp set right here beside this, so that when I fold this over, let me zoom y'all out just a hair. Let's move over a little bit like that, and I think I can get everything in there. I like to keep everything up a little closer so that you can actually see what I'm doing. So I'm just going to grab my Momento. I straightened up my craft room, and now I can't find anything. Do y'all ever do that? Once you have things where you reach for them and then you turn around and move them, oh my goodness, y'all know how that is. I'm sure we've all done that when we've cleaned out our craft room and we thought we found a better place for something, but you know, we're such creatures of habit that it's easy for us to reach in that same spot. So I was reaching up here on the top of my ink stand, my ink pad stand, and it wasn't there anymore. I actually put it on top of my my Stampin Blend markers. I have a little tray on the top, and I had set it in there. So let's see how that did. Now that's pretty, but I do want it just a tiny bit darker. And you see how the black ink just really does shine through that marble paper. So I think that is just beautiful. I love it. I love that boldness next to a pastel. So I'm just going to ink that up really good, and we're going to come back in again, and I'm going to give it a nice rub. Just like that. And that is gorgeous. Love, love, love it. Look how beautiful that is. Now I did get a little ink right there, but don't fear. This is a water-based ink, so you could just take a wet wipe. I've always got alcohol wipes, so I'm just cleaning it up with a little alcohol wipe. And I'm going to lay that over there and let it dry. I am going to spray a little Stampin Mist. If you don't have Stampin Mist, I suggest to get some. This is a great stamp cleaner. Not only that, it conditions your stamps as well. So not only do you end up with nice clean stamps, you end up with nice clean conditioned stamps. And I'm just going to take one of my cleaning cloths and I'm just going to rub this just like that. And look how beautiful that cleaned up. And I'm cleaning my Stamparatus in the process. Beautiful and clean and ready to go for our next project. Alright, so now that I got that taken care of, I am going to pull over my little card. And like I said, I gave y'all the measurements for this. Everything that I used and the measurements will be in the description below. So if you didn't get that when I was giving it out, don't feel like you got to go back and write everything down. My videos, I always leave the description under the video and I'll list everything there, so it makes it super easy for you to find it and be able to duplicate or case what I do. So I'm going to take, because I want some yellow right on this flower, I'm going to go ahead and just put a little bit of yellow, and I'm using my Stampin' Right markers, and this color is the dark Mango Melody. It's a beautiful rich gold, and I just thought these flowers would be pretty in that rich gold. So I'm going to do these in gold, and maybe this one right here. And a good thing too, because I'm coloring on pink, even if this changes color, it's going to look more orange, because pink and yellow together will give you an orange color. So that always works out beautifully. But I want to do my leaves, and I want something that's going to be dark enough that's going to cover my leaves but yet still look beautiful. So I'm going to use the dark Just Jade, and I am going to come in just like that, putting a little color around, and I'm not doing them all the way, I'm just doing a little color around the edges. I'll go ahead and grab these ones over here while I'm at it, and we're going to do maybe some purple flowers over there, but I'm going to come back in before that dries, and I'm going to grab my light Just Jade, and I'm going to blend this out. I want that little bit of shadow in there where it doesn't all look like one flat color, because things in this world are not a flat one-dimensional color. You've always got shades and shadows and things like that in our colors, so we want to try to depict that in our coloring as well. So I'm going to grab a purple, and I think I'm going to get the dark Highland Heather, and I'm going to go in here and just color these little petals that beautiful purple. I think the Highland Heather is one of the prettiest shades, and it just looks beautiful with the yellow. I love a lavender with a yellow anyway. I think it just looks stunning. So there's our piece, and that is ready to go on to our card front. So we could glue this straight down using some Stampin Seal, or we could put this on dimensionals and let it sit up a little bit. I think I'm just going to go with Stampin Seal, but before I do that, I want to make sure that I press my card out nice and straight. And if you notice what I'm doing here, I am ironing the entire card. I have learned that if I press the entire card, it doesn't lift up. If I just do the edge of it here, it's going to want to lift back up. But if I do both sides and the entire surface of it, it's sort of like ironing a pair of slacks. You wouldn't do a crease without ironing the entire leg. Same way with a card. So I'm going to take this now and turn this over and grab my Stampin Seal Plus. Now you could use liquid glue, two-sided tape, you could use a tape runner, whatever would be your preference of adhesive. I am going to use the Stampin Seal here today because it's quick. I don't have to wait for anything to dry, and this is a very strong adhesive. I know it's going to hold onto my card. I am going to go right here to the edge, and I'm going to try to get the same amount top and bottom and on the side, and then I'm just going to walk it over to that side. Okay, yeah, I did. Alright, so now that part of my card is done, but I need to put something on the inside. So this little piece right here would be beautiful inside, but think about how pretty it would be if we bordered it on this. So let's go ahead and cut this off to 4 inches. So I'm going to cut this at 4. And then that can go inside of our card. Or you could do it like this and put this on that side, but I think I really want to put the darker one down first. Something like that. And then I want to put this on top, but before I do that, I mean like this. Before I do that, I want to use my trio. Let's see, what did I do with my trio punch? Aha! I normally have it right here where I can reach it because I use this thing so often, but I didn't. I set it up a little bit high, but that's okay. And what I want to do with this piece is I want to use this decorative edge right here, and I want to do each one of my corners with that decorative edge. And see how pretty that's going to look. And it's just going to give a little extra something to our card, or to this little piece that we're putting in the middle. And you know, I'm all about detail, because like with anything, all the little details that you do when you make something handmade makes all the difference in the world. So, you know, be creative and think about, you know, how something's going to look when you put it down, and see how pretty that's going to look. And if you wanted that to show white, you could very easily take a piece of white. Let's see, I got some scraps right here. You could take a little piece of a scrap and just cut off the corner. Or you could cut it to go right behind it if you wanted to do it that way. But see how that white would peek through and it would look so cute on there. But I think I'm just going to go with it straight down for right now. I am going to grab, this is a thank you that came out of another new stamp set called Flowing Flowers. I love, love, love this set. I love the fonts, and I love these flowers. This is known as a distinctive stamp, and what is so neat about these distinctive stamps, when you stamp them, they cut. Let me show you one I did this one in Misty Moonlight, and that's this one right here, and you can see how it looks like it's been watercolored. And I did nothing but just ink up my stamp and stamped it. And you can go back if you want and add some extra color to it. Totally up to you. But I love the distinctive stamps because they all do that. That's a beautiful one right there too. But what I want to do with this is I want to stamp thank you right here in the middle, because the world needs more love notes. And then a thank you. That's just letting the person know that you really appreciated them inviting you, and you really did appreciate their thoughtfulness. You know, I changed my mind again, y'all. I think I'm gonna Yeah, I changed my mind again. I'm going to turn that over and use that side, and I'm going to put this side down. Y'all know I always change my mind. I never ever make a card and have it planned out in my head. I might have it somewhat planned out, but then I will change my mind when I'm starting to put it together, and I just kind of go rogue on y'all. So I'm going to stick this down right about there. And then we're going to stamp this, so let's grab a stamp block. And I'm going to line that stamp up nice and straight on my grid lines here on my mat, and pick it up. Grab my Momento Tuxedo black ink, and I'm going to ink this up. Making sure I'm getting a good image on it, or a good amount of ink on it, is what I should say. Now I'm going to hold this down right over top of where I want it, and then I'm going to stamp. And I'm holding my stamp perfectly straight, try not to rock, and then after you hold it there for just a few minutes, lift it straight up. That will ensure a nice crisp finish. It's so easy when we stamp down to rock our stamps, and we get in trouble when we do that. I've done it. Y'all saw me do that on the last video I did. I rocked my stamps and I ended up with some boo-boos here and there. But I also figured out a way to fix those, which is always nice when you can fix your little boo-boos that you make here and there. And we all make them. You just got to learn how to camouflage them. So I'm going to put a piece of my Stampin Seal there and here, and then a piece right here. And then I am going to put that right about here. I'm going to put it up a little bit higher. And the reason I'm not going center, I want to leave enough room so that you can sign your name right there. But then what a beautiful, quick and easy thank you card. I love that. I absolutely love how that turned out. And if you watched me make the card from day before yesterday, maybe that was 2 days ago, I think. I don't know. I'm still trying to catch up with the holidays. And today is New Year's Eve, and I definitely want to wish everyone a very, very happy New Year's, and I hope that our coming year will bring all of you health and love and happiness. And most of all, I pray that you will learn about Christ if you don't already know him, and if you do know him, that you will draw ever closer to him. I think it's so important. This was the card that I did the other day, and I had this piece left over, and you know what I wish I'd done? I wish I had put this down underneath here. I thought this would have been beautiful with some white behind it, so I may go back and revisit this card and use this second piece as my whole. I really haven't decided yet, but I still have this little piece left over, and I have this one. So we'll see what happens. I'll be revisiting that, I'm sure. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the little note card, and think of all the different things you could do with this. You could use your blending brushes and just blend some different colors of ink on your paper or your cardstock, and then make your own swirled paper. You could actually take some washi tape and make stripes with ink by ink blending across it, and I'll go further in depth with some of those techniques as we move along with our new year and our new catalog. So be on the lookout for some new and exciting things. Thank you so much for tuning in, and again, like I said, have a very, very happy new year. I will probably take a couple of days off through the holidays. I'll be in and out though, so you might be looking for me to post maybe Monday. I do have a couple appointments coming up this coming week, but I will be around, and I will be working on some beautiful things for all of you. And as I always say in closing, let everything you do and say bring glory to our Father in heaven. He is worthy. So until we craft again, God bless and keep you. And remember, y'all mean so much to me. I couldn't do what I do without y'all. So until we craft again, bye-bye.